Greetings, I'm Professor K, and in this short video presentation, we're going to take a look at how we go about creating a virtual install of Fedora Workstation using VirtualBox. So the first thing we got to do is go to the Fedora download site and get us an ISO image of the latest version of Fedora Workstation. For this video, that's going to be Fedora 35 Workstation. If you're watching this video and the version number has changed to say 36, 37, or 38, don't get wrapped around the axle. Go ahead and download and follow the lab. The installation process remains constant, remains the same, and will not change or not change drastically enough to make a difference. Now, the ISO image that we want to download for this lab is going to be for the x86_64 version. That is Fedora 35:x86_64 DVD ISO image, and it is right here. Go ahead and click on the download button, and the download begins. Now, once this download has complete, we will move on with the lab, actually creating a virtual install of Fedora Workstation using VirtualBox. Once I have that ISO image downloaded for my Fedora Workstation, I'm going to open up my VirtualBox Management Console. I'm going to go up to Machine, I'm going to click on New, and I'm going to begin the Create a Virtual Machine wizard. First thing we have to do is give our machine a user-friendly name. I'm going to call mine Fedora Workstation. Once I've given my virtual machine a user-friendly name, I can then select where to save this virtual disk. I've chosen a different volume than my C drive. The next window is Type. Now, if you typed in Fedora into the name, then VirtualBox is going to automatically pull up Linux as the type, and it will automatically select Fedora 64-bit as the version. You can accept the rest of the defaults and click Create. On this next window, we're going to change the 8 gig to 50 gig, and we're going to then select the rest of these defaults as good. Go ahead and click on Create. Now that we have all that done, all we have to do is find our Fedora Workstation virtual disk over inside of the left window pane and double click it. That's going to start the virtual disk. Once we have this up, we're going to have to browse on over and give it the ISO image that we downloaded for Fedora Workstation. To do this, just click on the folder icon, and on the next window, you're going to click on Add. You can then browse on over to where you saved Fedora Workstation. I'm going to go ahead and double click it. On this next window, I'm going to press the Choose button, and now I can press Start, and the installation process for Fedora Workstation will begin. Fedora Workstation wants to install as a live desktop. That's fine because it will give us the option to copy over the files to our virtual disk once we get to the live desktop. Let's see how this works. So you're going to go ahead and just select the first option, press Enter, and the installation process will begin. Go ahead and let it continue to check. And in just a moment, the installation process for the Fedora Workstation Live CD desktop will begin. Do be patient as the live desktop has to load all the files so that we can have a GUI experience with the live CD. Once you have a live desktop, you're going to have the option to either try Fedora or install to a hard disk. That's going to be the virtual disk that we created up inside of VirtualBox. Go ahead and click on the option to install to hard disk. Click on it one more time, and the installation process will begin. Let's go ahead and go full screen. Again, you have to be patient while all those files are being copied over to the virtual disk for the installation process. Now, on this first screen, I'm going to go ahead and select my language, which was English, United States. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Continue button. On this next screen, you have to click on where it says Installation Destination, and you're going to verify that Automatic is selected. Once you've done that, go up to the upper left-hand corner and click on the Done button. Give it a second. Now it returns you to the previous window. You have to give it a second to refresh, and once it's seen that you have confirmed that the automatic partitioning is selected, you can begin the installation. The installation takes approximately 10 to 15 minutes, so go get yourself a cup of coffee, and when you come back, you will have yourself a Fedora Workstation desktop. Do be patient with this installation. It may look like it's stalled, but it probably has not. So go ahead and give it enough time to complete the installation. Now that the installation has completed, we need to go up to Devices, Optical Drives, and we need to uncheck that box where we have that DVD loaded inside of that virtual optic drive. So go ahead and just click on it, and it's going to tell you that it cannot do an unmount. So go ahead and click on the button where it says Force Unmount. And now you can continue on with the finishing of the installation. If the machine hangs, just go on over here to your taskbar, click on Machine, and click on where it says Reset. Fedora Server begins the reboot process. So the first thing that Fedora Workstation is going to want from you is a profile. So on this first window, go ahead and click where it says Start Setup. If the machine hangs and it's non-responsive, go on over here to the power button, and you're going to do a power off, log out, and from the options in the context menu, you're going to select power off. You're then going to go into the settings for the virtual machine, and you're going to add some more memory. I added another gig, so I now have 2048 megabytes of memory, and that seemed to fix the problem. So on this first screen for your profile, it talks about privacy. I'm going to go ahead and turn all this off. That's how I keep my information private. I'm then going to go over here to the top right and click on Next. On this next screen, it talks about third-party repositories. You want to use these so that you can make sure that you get all the software downloads that you want. I don't mind using them. I'm going to go ahead and turn them on. I'm now going to click Next one more time. Now you can create or you can connect any of your online accounts. I'm going to go ahead and skip this. Now it wants me to create my username. I'm going to go ahead and type in my full name here. And my username will be Prof K. That's fine. I'm now going to click Next. And it wants my password. Type it in one more time. And click Next. And you're all done. Now you can start using Fedora Linux. Now this is what the desktop is going to pretty much look like. Once your desktop does load, you can take a tour. I'm going to say no thanks. Now everything inside of this desktop, and this is GNOME version 41, is consolidated inside of the quick launch bar down here at the bottom. So instead of having your applications up here, you now have your applications down here. So you can click on this and you can search for an application. Just type in the first couple of letters of the name of the application you want, such as Terminal. And there's Terminal. I can now launch Terminal, and I can use the CLI. If you want to get back to the quick launch bar, you can click on Activities. If you want to close it out and you just want the desktop, click on Activities one more time. Now the next thing we have to do is prevent Fedora Workstation from logging us off after 5 minutes of inactivity. And the way we do this is we go up here to the power button in the top right, click on it, and we're going to go to Settings. In the left window pane, we're going to scroll on down until we come to Power. Over here in the right window pane, where it says Screen Blank, we're going to pull down this window, and we're going to scroll down, and we're going to select Never. The rest of this you can leave as the default. And now you will not be logged off after 5 minutes of inactivity. So let's go back on over here to Activities. And if there's anything else that you would like to have access to, such as software, files, calendar, or your browser, it's all down here in the quick launch. And that's going to conclude this short video presentation on how we go about creating a virtual install of Fedora Workstation using VirtualBox. I'm Professor K. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.